All right, so for this song that I recorded, um, which I have titled Fat Boy Doom, but it's actually called A Dark Place. All I used was one mic for all of the tracks, just to show that you can really use one mic for anything, and it's just kind of a little challenge for myself. Um, so for the two guitars, I let's just start with the EQs. There's no low cut here because the low cut's right here in like the strip EQ. Um, but just to cut it 500, 2000, and 550, just to clean it up a little bit, because both of these tracks are fuzz tracks, just using I think a neck and a bridge pickup. So just a slightly different sound for both of them. And they had a lot of low end in them, so this cut right here really helped take all that out. So this one's a little bit fuller than that one, but together they work really well. And then so those two both have the same EQ. For this is the fuzz track. For the bass, I just cut a little bit of lows out, starting at 50, and then boosting at about 60, and cutting again at 120 to give the super low end a little bit more pump, and then cut out so that the kick drum had a little bit of space, and then nothing else for the fuzz bass. And then for the clean bass, which had a chorus pedal on with it too, all I did was a big low cut because this other bass track was making use of all that, and then a little high boost to exaggerate the chorus a little bit and just bring it out in the mix. Those sound like this. That is the fuzz EQ, of course. This is the chorus with all the bass cut out. So those sounded really good together. And for the drums, what I put on first was just a big low cut and then a boost at 120. And so when I recorded this, I kept it just the mic up right above the kick drum, probably about 2 feet or a foot and a half away from the whole kit, to capture all the sound. A little cut at 500 and a shelf cut at 8,000 to bring some of the cymbals, to take them out a little bit, because they were kind of loud. So with nothing, even no reverb, it's pretty dry. The EQ and compression, just to clean it up, bring the compressor, just helps bring everything together a little bit. 5-to-1, sort of fast, middle release time. But once you put the reverb on it, that really helps bring everything together. And helps put the whole song in a place. So the drums turned out really well, surprisingly. And then this plug-in, the Imager, just helped make it sound more stereo. Helps put it in a room. So that's about all I did. And then I sent everything to a reverb so that it is more 3D sound than 2D. So if we take all those off, the guitars all sound pretty good. But once you start putting them in, and the the bass are in there just a little bit so that they don't drown everything out in the low end. And that's about all that I did for this song. There's really just two parts, just this beginning part and then the second part. Lots of fuzz, lots of distortion. All the cabs were close mic'd, which I probably could have backed the mics up a little bit to help kind of fit them in with the regular drum sound, but it turned out really well. Let's just give you context, what they all sound like alone. So there's really not a whole lot of highs in this fuzz, this bass fuzz, other than that kind of buzz up there. Because it should really just make the mix dry without it. Really just fills it in. Yeah, and so that's about all I did for this song. Turned out really well.